ho! Oh, hold on. I'm not used to vlogging really with camera, so excuse me for the mess in here. Yeah, it's a bit messy in here due to redoing stuff again. The games are basically gone from the living room, and yeah, I haven't really thought out what I'm gonna do with this space, so that's why I haven't really done much with it. But yeah, in this video I want to talk about something else that I collect, and that is my 80s movies collection, which I have over here. So I thought that we would start doing I don't know, a series of different videos about the 80s collection. It's not all 80s, mind you. There are some 90s, maybe some 70s, or even 2000 movies, but mostly they are in that vein, 80s vein, that I really love. So I think that we should take one row each video, and we'll talk about the 80s movies that you know, the memories, and why I love them, or how they are as a movie, or if I remember anything about them, because you know, many of these I haven't watched for a long time, sadly, because I don't have a DVD player at the moment. My Blu-ray player broke down, and I don't have a PS2 anymore, so I definitely need to get a new DVD player, because my new PC doesn't have a CD-ROM player, so I can't play the DVDs there either. So yeah, need to get a DVD player. But let's start. We start with the row. I'm probably go with this one, maybe with this one. Let's see. Let's start this this game series, 80s movies night, we can call it. So welcome guys to the first episode of 80s movies night. Yeah, this is a series when I'm just gonna show my 80s videos collection. Like I said before, they might not be all 80s, but yeah, let's talk about the movies, and maybe you get an idea of some movies that you missed, or that you forgot about, that, oh, I definitely want to see that again. That's why I make these movies, or these episodes, I mean. So yeah, I just took a row and a shelf, and yeah, let's start. The first one is with Val Kilmer, which was one of my favorite actors back in the 80s. This is not my favorite film with him at all, Top Secret. I think the makers of Airplane made this one. It is really out there, the humor in this one, and it's a Second World War, and it's super funny. Actually, good movie, that one. Not too bad. Ooh, this one was a belter when it came out. I remember we all loved this one, especially coming from a ice hockey nation as Sweden is. And that is Youngblood, with Rob Lowe and what's his name again? Jesus Christ. Patrick Swayze, of course, the late Patrick Swayze. May he rest in peace. Yeah, fantastic movie. Absolutely loved this one back in the days, and I remember the girls. All my girlfriends, that, you know, from e-school, they all had him on posters in their bedrooms. Rob Lowe. I mean, he was #1 back in the 80s. And yeah, then we got a really 80s movie, John Hughes, Some Kind of Wonderful. I don't remember too much about this one. I just remember that I really like it. And of course, it's you know, John Hughes, you know, Ferris Bueller Day Off, and Pretty in Pink, and all those movies. So you know, it's going to be a lot about relationships and younger people. Yeah, I really like this one. Then we got one that I remember when I watched it the first time, I laughed like hell. It's so funny. It's Peter Jackson's first one, and that is Bad Taste. Wow, it was so funny. I remember it was illegal in many countries. This movie, but I saw it back then. I thought it was so funny, and it is funny. And it's it's not. I mean, he made it with such a low budget, so that's what you can imagine watching this movie. But I think it's a masterpiece. Bad Taste. This is not an 80s movie. I think this is early 90s, but it's in that vein that I really love, and I absolutely love this movie. And it's one of the few Mike Myers movies that I actually really love, and that is So I Married an Axe Murder. It's funny, and it's heartwarming, and yeah, it's all of those things. Great music. Yeah, I really like this one. Definitely one of Mike Myers' better ones. You should definitely watch that one if you forgot about that. And then we have on the total other side of Happy, you get this movie, and this movie really takes you for a ride, and it's very depressing to watch, but it's at the same time absolutely amazing. This could actually be late 70s or maybe early 80s this came out. And it's a true story, Midnight Express, about a guy that's trying to take some narcotics into Turkey or out from Turkey, I can't remember. But anyway, he ends up in a Turkish prison back in those days, and you definitely didn't want to be in a Turkish prison back in those days. I mean, it wasn't really a democratic country back then. It's not even a democratic country right now, 100%. So yeah, fucking hell, this movie, so good, but at the same time so scary to watch. A classic, still in plastic, but of course I watched it. I absolutely love Meg Ryan movies. I know people are gonna laugh at me, but I do, especially the early ones, and this is one of them. When Harry Met Sally. Not much else to say about this one. Absolutely love that one. That could actually be early 90s as well. Or is it late 80s? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Oh, yeah. One of Kevin Bacon's best one, Footloose. Fantastic score. Great movie. Super 80s. And yeah, absolutely love this one. Footloose. 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 Do. I don't know. I really like Fletch. Fletch is such a weird, fucked up movie, but Fletch 1 and 2, great movies, and I mean, Chevy Chase has done a lot of shit, but yeah, I really like Fletch. I think it's the first one that's better than the second one. I can't remember really. I don't know if I have Fletch 2, to be honest. Need to get that for the future. I need to get a list where I have all the movies so I can go in and watch what I don't have, because it's a pain in the ass, because I can't remember all I have, of course. And this is the one movie we talked about before. That is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Some of these movies gonna have like another title, because in the 80s in Sweden we changed a lot of the titles to something Swedish. We kind of stopped doing that now for many years now, because it's just messes with us. We say one movie, and people, you know, from abroad doesn't understand which movie that is, and it's much better to have the original name of every movie, don't you think? So Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Matthew Broderick, yeah, masterpiece. Absolutely love that one. One of the best ones. And then we got another stellar movie I've probably seen 20 times at least. Who hasn't? And that is Pretty Woman. Don't need to say much about that one. It needs to be in every 80s movie collection, of course. Of course. Kim Cattrall, Andrew McCarthy. Then you probably know what this is. Mannequin. Wow. This is so 80s, this one. I absolutely love it as well. Him falling in love with the mannequin that turns out or gets real in some sort of way. I don't remember how. Then we got another rest in peace dead actor that's going to be in a lot of my 80s movies, and that is John Candy. And this one is with Dan Aykroyd, which was also a big pillar in the 80s movie genre, and that is The Great Outdoor. Yeah, awesome, really good one. And then you're gonna see 2 movies, 1 and 2, and one got the Swedish name and one got the real English name, and that is The Never-Ending Story, Den oändliga historien, as we call it in Swedish. So this is the first one. Yeah, I fell in love with this movie back in the day. It's absolutely wonderful, so heartwarming, and yeah, good movie to watch during Christmas, I think. It's not really a Christmas movie, but I consider these two to be like Christmas movies. Never-Ending Story 2, the next chapter. This is definitely not an 80s movie, but I think it might even be like 2002 or something, or maybe it's 90s. But anywho, this needs to be in the 80s collection because this is the Sandlot Kids. Wow, what a movie this is. If you really liked movies like Stand By Me or The Goonies, you definitely need to watch this one. They did it right with this one, even though it's not an 80s one. It definitely feels 80s. Absolutely love the Sandlot Kids. I collect movies that's based on Stephen King books. So this should be in that pile. But yeah, it's here by itself. And that is a movie we watched a lot when I was younger because we thought it was so modern for us to see that kind of 3D effects for almost the first time. Now it looks horrible, but yeah, I definitely like this one, The Lawnmower Man. Great movie. It has everything in there, you know. It's a good movie. Oh, another John Candy one. The Uncle Buck one. Yeah, funny. Very John Candy. And it's what's his name? He's in here as well. Macaulay Culkin, isn't he? I think Macaulay Culkin is in this one as well. Yeah, there he is. Classic. The dance scene in Risky Business. Yeah, if you remember this one, you remember it. This one, even though I haven't watched it for a very long time, you know, it doesn't really go away. It's one of Tom Cruise's best movies, I think, back in those days. Another John Hughes, one of his best, if you ask me, and that is Pretty Pink. Yeah, relationship drama back in the 80s, and Molly Ringwald. I had her on posters in my bedroom, I remember. I mean, maybe if people see her today, maybe they don't think she looks that good, but I really did back in the day, and yeah, I like that corky redhead girl. Pretty in Pink, really good. And then we have one I don't even remember if I ever watched, to be honest. And this could also be early 90s or late 80s. And that is with Winona Ryder, Christian Slater and Shannon Doherty. And that is Heathers. So I don't remember if I've ever seen this one. So this is definitely when I get a DVD player that I'm going to watch. Because I don't have anything to say about this one, because I don't remember it. I remember people talking about it, Heathers, but I don't have anything to say about it really. And then we have a movie that has won 2 or 3 as well. I don't know. I don't remember. But the whole clan is there. The 80s actors: Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Emilio Estevez, Young Guns. Yeah, not too bad at all. This one, I enjoy it. This one is 70s, if I remember right. It's not very 80s movie at all. It's yeah, emotional ride, Deliverance. Definitely something you should watch. Jon Voight and Burt Reynolds. There's not that many movies left now. Ooh, Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell. Tequila Sunrise, guys. Tequila Sunrise, baby. Yeah, great movie. Definitely need to watch this again soon because I don't remember a lot with that one, to be honest. I just remember that I liked it. And then it's one of my favorites of the 80s of all time. I even have a like a poster on the wall in the kitchen of this picture, and that's the Lost Boys. Yeah, I mean, for me the Lost Boys is more maybe not these two guys being the that should be in front of the movie, because I think Corey Feldman, Corey Haim were what really made me this movie. I can't talk. They really made this movie that great for me, to be honest. But on the front here you see what's his name again? Kiefer Sutherland, and what's the other guy's name? He's still around, Jason Patric. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Lost Boys, great soundtrack as well. And this one is, yeah, Major League. In Swedish we call it Värsta Gänget, which is a horrible title. A great baseball movie from the 80s. Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, Corbin Burnson is in this one. L.A. Law. I loved L.A. Law back in the days. Yeah, Major League, not bad. Ooh, this is probably the movie that made me want to be a bartender, which I've been, but I'm not anymore. But this is probably what made me want to be that, and that is Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Yeah, absolutely love this movie. Seen it way too many times, to be honest. Oh, Gremlins 2, The New Gang, it's called in Swedish. Doesn't really have a Gremlins 2, The New Batch is called in English. Yeah, we call it The New Gang in Swedish. Yeah, Gremlins 2, not as good as the first one, of course, but yeah, definitely enjoyed this one as well. Yeah, if you have Gremlins, you need to have Gremlins 2 as well. Here's another second one, which I actually think it's the better one. I actually prefer Home Alone 2 to Home Alone 1. I mean, they're not far off, and we call it Ensamma Hemma. I don't know when I was cut out, so yeah, Big was the last one before, I think. Dirty Dancing, maybe it was. So I didn't know if you saw that. Yeah, this one I've seen so many times, and it's Who You Gonna Call, and that is Ghostbusters 1 and 2. This is probably one of the few that needs maybe to get a Blu-ray because of some of the effects in it. If it doesn't have any effects in the movie, I don't really need to have a Blu-ray of it, because it doesn't really have to be. It's better if it looked that way that I remember it, to be honest. But this one has a bit of effects and stuff. Maybe it will look better on a Blu-ray. But I'm not kicking my teeth in, I almost said, for not having it right now. But yeah, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, absolute classics. And this one is actually a bit emotional for me, because I actually bought this to give to my oldest friend, Nicholas. My one of my first friends, really good friends. He was adopted from England when he was like 5, and I was 4 because I was 1 year younger. And we became good friends, and he didn't speak Swedish and I didn't really speak any English because I haven't started school. I mean, I understood some maybe. And then, you know, I learned him a lot of Swedish and he learned me a lot of English as well, really early on. So, and this is a series that didn't come out in Sweden. One of the few big English ones that never came here really. But I remember my friend Nicholas had this one because he bought that on VHS when they travelled to England with his parents during one summer or a couple of summers, and we watched it together and absolutely loved it. So I bought this complete box to give to him, and sadly he passed away last year from cancer, sadly. So I've kept it, and yeah, couldn't really give it to him of course anymore, but here it is. Only Fools and Horses, complete box set with series 1 to 7. So I'm really happy that I got that, and yeah, it reminds me of Nicholas as well, which is nice, so I don't forget about him. Of course I will never forget him, but yeah, it's a reminder of that. So yeah, that was the first episode of 80s Movies Night, and I hope you enjoy that, and I hope I didn't rush through them, and maybe I did. I felt maybe I rushed through them a bit too much, to be honest. But anyway, do you really want you know, videos when I talk a lot about the movies, or maybe this is the best way to do it? I don't know, but yeah, 80s Movies Nice. Episode 1 is over. It's done, and I hope you enjoyed that, and be nice.